In the heart of Nairobi's vibrant market, we meet Maureen, not just a fishmonger, but a symbol of unwavering resilience and adaptability. Maureen's livelihood depends on frying her fish with firewood, a method steeped on tradition, passed down through generations. But in our ever-changing climate, tradition comes at an ever-increasing cost. It's becoming more expensive to secure the firewood she so desperately needs. Yet, it's not just about economics. It's a stark reminder that climate change is a relentless and immediate reality for millions, especially in vulnerable communities like hers.
Firewood is affordable and quickly accessible. You won't stay there for long. You can inspect those firewood pieces. You gather them and sit for a while, then return here. But electricity cannot be used for cooking fish. Yes, many people nowadays use it. But for me, since I have been using this method for a long time, I find firewood to be just fine.
It's one of the pressing climate challenges discussed at the first Africa Climate Summit held in Nairobi, where African leaders argued that they not only face the biggest threat from climate change, but also offer opportunities for green investment like this one signed at the summit.
Notable highlights include a transformative partnership investing $60 million over 2 years in expanding grid access in rural Burundi, a $4.5 billion commitment from the UAE, represented here by my brother, to boost renewable energy, substantial contribution from the European nations, and significant investments from the private sector, entities like Mazda, PowerGen, Leapfrog, Gross Boundary, and Husk Power, emphasizing renewable energy initiatives.
But the continent only receives 12% of the financing it needs to cope with climate shocks. The final declaration called on major polluters to commit more resources to help poorer nations. They also proposed a global carbon taxation regime that would include a carbon tax on fossil fuel trade, maritime transport, and aviation, among others. African leaders are also pushing for a new global climate finance charter by 2025 that would lower borrowing costs and allow for money to respond to the impact of climate change. They also call for measures to help indebted countries avoid defaults, such as granting 10-year grace periods. The question of climate funding is likely to continue beyond the Africa Climate Summit, but the stories of resilience and adaptation reminds us of Africa's potential as a green energy powerhouse is greater than ever. And Macharia, TRT World, Nairobi.